So this practice, I thought we would work with a chair or on a chair, and with the idea that really we're working with what our body can do. So for some of us, it is quite difficult to get up and down off the floor, and we've been in lockdown for, I think this might be the 4th week now. So, you know, we can feel stiff, we can feel a bit unable to be comfortable on the floor. So we can sit on a chair, we can do all the practices just as easily on a chair. I mean, obviously, if you'd rather be on the floor, then we come to rest on the floor. But if there's stuff going on with our hips or our knees or something, and sometimes it is just too much. So we work with what our body can do. And I know one of the biggest things that my teacher, Sophie Hall, ever gave to me, really, that I remember most of all, is her telling me to do less, to try to do less things, but with less effort. So when we make ourselves comfortable, when our body is comfortable, it's coming into contact with how that feels to be comfortable, not how it feels and to put up with being uncomfortable and think it's okay to be uncomfortable, because it's not really. Our body is all we have sometimes, so it's just working with what feels right for us. So coming to sit, and ideally your feet are planted on the floor. But so you can use a block. You can use a block if your feet don't quite reach the floor, if your chair's a bit high. But have that sense of your feet resting on the floor. So the base, the big toes, little toes and heels, just the same way as if we were resting on the floor or lying down on the floor, or if we were standing. And then just let your hands come to rest on your knees. And just really, if you look down at your hands and maybe looking down to your feet, so having that sense of support, that grounding, that sense of resting down into the floor. And you can focus your eyes sort of in front of you, or if you're okay to close your eyes and just allow yourself to settle. And you're not necessarily leaning back into the chair, your spine is coming up away from the seat of the chair. Your hands and your arms are being able to rest down, and your legs and your feet are being allowed to rest down into the floor. And you're just coming to a place where you can settle, feeling the contact, your body, with the floor, with the chair, spaces around your body, connection of your hands on your knees or your thighs. And then just training or turning your attention inwards to your breath, and just feeling your breath as it comes in or enters your body. Feeling your breath as it leaves your body. And if it's all right with you, just take in 3 deep breaths. So breathing in, filling up the whole of your chest. And where do you feel your breath? And letting your breath go, letting your breath leave. And just imagine that breath travelling down through your body, down through to your feet. And that sense of resting down. Your breath comes in. And there's that feeling, if you're sitting, that feeling of lift coming up. Dignity. Opening. And then as you breathe out, just imagine that breath travelling down through your body, through to your feet, and down further through the earth to the ground. And then one more time. And then as you breathe, just as you do, how do you feel now? Coming into contact with how your body feels right now. Not just on the outside, but the emotions or feelings on the inside. And then we're just going to start the practice. So you can open your eyes if you like, or you can keep them closed. And just linking your hands, so just linking the fingers, and the palms can be facing inwards. And we're just going to breathe in, taking the arms up. And as you breathe out, just take the arms wide, just a half circle, down. Breathing in, linking the hands, taking the arms up. And as you breathe out, taking the arms round, wide and down. And just carry on. You can take the arms forward and up as you breathe in. You can take the arms a little bit further back and down as you breathe out. So just creating a circle with your arms, being aware that you're mobilising your shoulders. You're starting to find contact with how your shoulders feel. You can slow the movement down or you can speed the movement up, but just being with your breath and being with the movement of your arms. And the next time you breathe out, just stop and just rest with the arms resting down on your thighs or your lap, wherever it's comfortable. And if it's okay, turn your palms up. Shrug your shoulders a few times, and then just keeping both shoulders up, drawing both shoulders up towards your ears. Drop the right ear onto the right shoulder, breathe in, and as you breathe out, just let the shoulders drop, breathe as you need to. Draw the shoulders up to push the head back up to centre, breathe in, and as you breathe out, drop the left shoulder, both shoulders down, and the left ear drops towards the left shoulder. So you feel that stretch down the right side of the neck. Breathe as you need to. Draw both shoulders up to bring the head back to centre. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, drop the shoulders, let the right ear drop down towards the right. And then just stay there, breathe as you need to. And then we're just going to roll the head forward, so you draw the chin down, roll the head forward, round towards the left. And you don't have to take the gaze up towards the ceiling, just come back to centre, just roll the head so the head rolls towards the right ear comes down towards the right shoulder, the gaze comes down towards your lap, and you just roll round, roll the neck round. And if your neck is feeling okay, you might be able, if it's alright, to take the gaze up towards the ceiling. Really being aware of how your head and how your neck feels, because we hold so much tension in our neck, and we only really want to work at releasing tension, not creating any more. And then the next time your head rolls towards the left, just stay there, so you feel that length down the right side of the neck. Just experiment a little bit. If you push down into the feet, notice the response in the neck perhaps. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, let go, let go. Roll the head round, forward, round towards the right. And then just do a few head rolls in that direction. So just all we're working at doing is trying to release the neck. You're not trying to build muscles, you're not trying to gain anything particular, we're trying to lose tension. And then this time, when the neck just comes to rest, or the chin comes to rest down towards the collarbones, and your gaze is down towards the lap, just stay there, just being aware of your heavy, heavy head. And then just round the shoulders forward, because it's quite a natural flexion movement, just to round the shoulders forward. And round the spine down, as though you're trying to get the crown of your head towards your knees. And just in that direction, just rounding the spine forward. Maybe let your arms hang down by your side. And then rounding the spine, come back up. And then just carefully lift your head, so the crown of the head is coming up towards the ceiling, and allowing your shoulders to drop. Move your jaw, side to side, or circle the jaw. And as you circle the jaw, coming into contact with the base of your skull, the back of your head, the base of your skull. So your jaw connects to the skull. The jaw is part of your skull, so any kind of tightness in our jaw will affect the skin. That encases the skull, that will affect the joints. Where the jaw connects to the skull, just below the ears, the mandibular joint rests there. And then just let your jaw come to centre, being aware, gentle closing of the lips, so you're not pursing or forcing, space inside your mouth. And allow your shoulders to relax. So we're just going to go back to a little breathing sequence. So and start off with the hands just resting on our thighs or our knees. And we're just going to carefully, as we breathe in, we're just going to take the arms or hand just halfway up, breathing in. And then as we breathe out, you're going to push the hands away. And then as we breathe in, we're going to take the arms up. And as we breathe out, we're going to take the arms down to our sides. Breathing in, we take the arms up just a little bit. And as we breathe out, we push the hands away. Breathing in, take the arms up, and as we breathe out, we take the arms out to the side. And then just carry on. Breathing in, halfway up, Breathing out, push the arms away. Breathing in, take the arms up. Breathing out, taking the arms wide and round. And just carry on. And just noticing how if you're rotating the palms or pushing the palms away, can you feel that in your shoulders? You don't have to stretch the arms up. The elbows can be quite bent. And all we're trying to do is mobilise the shoulders. Connecting to your breath, feeling of the space around you, and a sense of how your body feels right now as you just allow yourself to sit and to breathe. And don't forget the connection of your feet with the floor. Base the big toe, little toe and heel. The next time your arms come back down, you can always pause the video at any time just to carry on a little bit more. The next time that your arms come down, just rest there. Just let your breath settle. And then this time we're going to change a little bit. We're going to take the arms to come behind us and just see if you can link the hands behind the back of the chair. So you're linking the hands behind the back of the chair. And then push the hands down, push the hands down. Take the gaze up, so that will lift the breastbone, just a bit of a back bend. Make sure you're breathing. And then just carefully, if you lift the arms behind you, can you send the spine forward and down, and the hands might come up behind you. And your feet plant firmly on the floor. Lower the arms, back of the chair, to take the gaze up, to lift the breastbone slightly. Keep the heels down, keep your heels down, and then you take the gaze forward and down, and the arms might lift behind you. So you're just kind of doing a different kind of movement through the shoulders, and then just come back up when you're ready. And you can just release the arms, circle shoulders, and you can work that with the breath if you like again as well. So you can take the arms behind. The hands can be linked, or you can just hold the wrists, or they don't even have to be held together if you don't want to, or you can use a strap. If they don't reach, you can use a strap or a sock. So breathing in, and as you breathe out, go forward, 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 and the arms lift behind you. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out, lift the gaze. Breathe in, just come back to centre and just settle there for a few moments. And then we're going to breathe in. And as we breathe out, lift the arms up, take the spine forward and down. Breathe in, come back up. And as you breathe out, take the gaze up, lift the breastbone. Breathe in, just come back to neutral, and then just carry on. So we start off with a breath in, and as we breathe out, take the arms behind, take the spine forward, down. Breathe in, take the spine up, and as you breathe out, take the gaze up. Push the hands down, and just carry on. And just see, maybe you want to change the way that you breathe, which is fine. Just kind of work with the breath, but just knowing that you're breathing. And pause the tape if you want to, or video if you want to, and then just go at your own pace, or do a little bit more, or do a little bit less. And then just stop in the centre when you're ready, and just roll your shoulders, just noticing how your shoulders feel in that position. And we'll just do some little sort of hugging movements or opening movements, which is quite nice actually, to work that idea of self-soothing, the idea of connecting, even in this time when we find it, or we're being told not to connect to others sort of physically, or touch others, or be near others. We're supposed to be about 6 feet away from each other, so sometimes we can feel quite isolated. So knowing that we can self-soothe ourselves, comfort ourselves, is a nice thing. So we start off with the arms wide, palms facing sort of forward, and then just cross the arms, knowing what arm you've crossed on top. So my right one's on top, so just saying to yourself which one is on top, Open the arms out. And then just crossing the other arm on top, the left one on top. And then just carry on. And not forgetting your feet that are resting on the floor, so you have a real sense of being planted on the floor. And you can, if you like, you can work with the breath again. So as you breathe in, take the arms out, and as you breathe out, bring the arms back in. And then just see each time, can you take the hands a little bit further round, further round. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. You can close your eyes or you can keep the eyes open. And then next time you stop, doesn't matter which arm is on top, just breathe as you need to, just know which arm is on top. And then just take the arms up, forearms up, and just see if you can go into soft sort of eagle arms, sort of Garudasana eagle arms. Then open wide, take the other arm on top, and then again just see if you can go into soft eagle arms. So what I mean by eagle arms is when the arms go, you cross the arms, so make like now, my right elbow is on top, so then you just take the hands up, then my underneath, the right arm is on top, the left hand underneath just slips on the inside of the right palm or the right wrist, or you might just stay like that, which is fine. Just working with that a few times. And then just see, next time you go into soft eagle arms, if you take your knees a little bit wider, as the elbows come in towards the ribs, round the spine, allow the top of the head to hang, and just see if you can reach the fingertips or the hands towards the floor. Just see where you are. And it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. Really allow your head to hang. Really feel the breath in the back of your body. And then coming up, open the arms wide. And then just do the same on the other side. While opening the legs a little bit wider and just dropping down between. Coming up, and you can work with that a few more times if you like. Pause the video, or just come back to sitting, to centre, and just notice how that feels in your body. So we just done a few forwards and back bends and releasing the shoulders, those kind of things. We'll just do a few little rotations. So you're sitting on your chair, the feet firmly planted on the floor. We're just going to take the right arm behind us, and the left hand can rest on your left hip, or if you've got like a chair like mine, it can be on the arm of the chair. And you're just going to turn towards the right. Maybe look behind, the gaze can come to look behind as well. And then come back to centre. Then the right hand can go towards the left hip or the outside of the left thigh, and the left hand can just turn behind the chair. And just kind of work that idea from inside underneath the ribs. Can you lift? As though the spine is coming up away from the floor as you turn and your gaze comes to look behind. Lift the left shoulder up and down a few times. Then you can allow the left shoulder to drop. And come back to centre. And then one more time. The right hand comes to rest behind. The left hand can rest on the right hip or the outside of the right thigh. And you can work with your breath if you like. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just turn a little bit further round towards the right, and the right shoulder will drop. Be aware of the space between your chin and the right shoulder. Feet firmly planted on the floor, knees are facing forward, hips are facing forward. So it's a really good one, really, just turning the upper part of the spine, the thoracic spine. So last time the right hand rests on the outside of the left thigh or the left knee or left hip, and then the left hand comes to rest behind. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just inside underneath the ribs, can you turn towards the left? Can you turn to see beyond the left shoulder? The knees are facing forward, the hips are facing forward. So we're not trying to make a shape or do anything particular. We're trying to rotate the spines. We're trying to feel that whole sense of how do we feel in the upper part of the spine. And when we're sitting, it's a really good way of finding how mobile we are, because we can't move what's planted, what's grounded on the chair. And then just being aware of how you feel. As you come to centre, hands rest lightly on the knees or the thighs, close your eyes for a few moments, so just have that sense of how you feel right now. And then taking your attention down through to your feet, just lift your toes. We do some things with the lower body now. Lift the toes, lower the toes, lift the toes, lower the toes, just a few times. And then lift the heels, lower the heels, so the toes are on the floor. And then just to get that sort of sense of crisscrossing through the patterns of the brain, I'm not sure if I can do it myself, we're going to lift the right toes, lift the left heel. And then just reverse. Lift the left toes, lift the right heel. And you might need to slow it down if you're anything like me. Slow it down. And it's a good way of kind of coming outside of patterns. I think I've gone wrong. And then just stop. Move the feet. Maybe bounce the heels a few times. Just kind of wake up the feet a little bit. And then we're going to lift up the right heel. We're going to come up on the very tips of the right toes. Very tips of the right toes. And then we're going to circle the right heel. Circle the right heel. So you can feel that through the knee. Feel that through the right knee, which is, you know, it's a nice thing to do. And then we're going to lift the right foot. We're going to circle the knee. And just notice, if anything like me, your foot starting to move. So try to keep your foot really still and just start to move the knee. Then straight away you might feel very quickly that you're working into your hip. And then if you're circling one way, then just circle the other way, whichever that means to you. And your hands, you know, you have if you have your hands firmly planted either on the arms of the chair or on the seat of the chair, just to get you that sense of support. And then stop. Then we're going to take the right foot forward and we're going to bring it in. We're going to take the knee up. Take the foot forward, bring it back in, take the knee up. So just kind of, you know, notice when it starts to ache. And then stop. Bring the foot down. Bring the foot down. We're going to just do the same on this side. We're going to lift up the left heel, come up on the very tips of the left toes and circle the heel or circle the ankle. And then stop, and then we're going to lift the foot. You can place the left hand on that knee. Now leave the shin and the foot alone and just circle the knee. You might feel that in the hip. Circle the other way. You might feel something in your belly starting to respond, because all those muscles deep inside the belly core muscles have to start to work in order to find these movements. And then stop. Then you're going to push or send the left foot away. Draw the left heel in, lift the knee, push it away. Draw the heel in, draw the knee in and up, push it away. So any kind of movement that you can do, just work with. And if you have your hands, because you might find quite easy, if you think like me, you've started to slump. So if you have your hands resting on the seat of the chair, get that sense that the spine still stays lifted as you're working your leg. And notice if it starts to ache, if anything like me, it's starting to ache quite quickly. And just see if you can be with that feeling rather than straight away stopping. And then when you're ready, you just bring your foot back onto the floor. And let's just do some things with the ankles and the lower body. So if you let your hands rest on the knees, and just see if you can bring the big toes together. So the big toes come together, or the little toes, or the edges of the feet, base of the toes, and then turn the feet the other way, and then bring the soles of the feet together, and then turn the feet the other way. Just kind of see how that feels. You're going to feel that through your knees as well. So they're quite a good one at sort of opening through the inside and outsides of the knees. So when we bring the soles of the feet together, you're stretching the outside of the knees. When you bring the feet going the other way, you might be feeling that on the inside of your knees, or you might be feeling it in a different way depending on how your knees are. But just kind of working with that. And mobilising your feet, the really good ones, and mobilising the ankle joints, as well as all the feelings from the toes, fronts of the feet, the soles of the feet. And just carrying on, it's quite interesting with sensations that we can find in our ankles, because we don't often have sensations in our ankles. And then stop when you're ready. And then let's just see if it's okay, depending on your knees or your hips, because you know, being with how you feel right now. Just see if you can take the right knee on top of the left knee, just crossing the knees. And then we're going to do the rotation again. So the left hand can rest on the outside of the right knee or the left knee, wherever it reaches, or the right thigh. And you're just going to turn the right arm round, the right shoulder round to look towards the right. From inside underneath the ribs, lift. If your right hand can be in contact with the base of the chair behind you, that feeling of the connection into the hand allows the spine to lift, and you just turn towards the right. Then come back to centre, keeping the right knee on top if it's okay. Take the arms wide. And when you cross the arms, the left arm is on top, right arm is underneath. And now just see if you can go into eagle arms. And then uncross. Uncross the knees, and then take the left knee on top. The right hand just rests on the outside of the left thigh, and just take the left arm behind you, and you just turn to look behind. Come back to centre. Take the arms wide. Then when you cross the arms, the right one is on top, the left one is underneath, and just go into eagle arms if possible, just going into eagle arms. And then come out, go wide and uncross. So let's just to see if we're okay with the knees again. So if we take the right one on top, right knee on top, just see if you can slip that right ankle or right foot underneath the left ankle. Just see where you are there. See if you can lift a few times or rock from side to side, just depending, you know, don't kind of force anything. You might just want to stay there, or you might, if you had enough, just stay there. Just see where you are. So the right one is on top, take the arms wide. Now the right arm as it goes forward is underneath. Left one on top, and just cross the arms. See if you can take the arms up. See if you can take the arms down. See if you can take the elbows round to the right, round to the left. And then just uncross. Then the left knee goes on top. See if you can slip that left foot underneath the right calf or wherever it goes. See if you can lift the knees or swing the knees or side to side. And the right foot, this left one that's underneath. No, that's the right one underneath, sorry. It doesn't have to be on the floor. If you want to lift it, you can lift it. Just kind of see where you are. So the left knee is on top. Take the arms wide, and when we cross the arms, the left arm is underneath. And you just see if you can go into eagle arm. You can lift the arms up and down. Take them to the side. All these things are mobilising, and you might be feeling these in the back of your body, the muscles in the back of your body. Make sure you're breathing. Come to centre. And then go wide, open, uncross the knees, and just come back to sit. And you can do that again if you like. You can pause or repeat the tape. Or just sit now, just as you are, shoulders relaxed, jaw relaxed, being with your breath. And then let's just see if we can slump ourselves forward. So if you draw the chin down, round the shoulders, round spine, and just allow the arms to hang. So just see if you can slump. Really allow yourself to slump forward. Now feel your feet planted on the floor. Base the big toes, little toes and heels. And then just see if you can take your hands towards the floor. Now really plant the feet, the weight of your body down into your feet to lift. Lift your seat up. Bottom up, and then bring your hips or your bottom or your buttocks, whatever word works for you, back down onto the seat of the chair. And then without pushing too much into the hands, can you use your feet down into the floor to lift the hips? Allow the top of the head to hang. And then carefully bring your hips back down onto the chair. And now, without pushing into your hands, without really pushing into your shoulders, allow the top of the head to hang. Can you allow the weight to go down into your feet to lift your hips? Down into your feet to lift your hips, and then lower. And then just see, maybe you can take the hands behind you. Or if not, obviously you're pushing down into your hands, you're using what your body is allowing you to do. So you're just working with what you have. Down into the feet if possible, to lift the hips, allow the top of the head to hang. Down into the feet, connection down through the feet to allow the hips to come back onto the seat of the chair. Down into the feet to lift the hips. And this time, come to stand. But you really have that feeling of connection down into your feet and your head. When you round the spine up, your head finds its place on top of the neck, between the shoulders, and the spine carries on down between the hips, as though it's going to carry on down towards the floor. So even though we've come to stand up, we have that real sense of connection down. So now we use the chair still. Let's maybe have the back of the chair resting there. So let's just work with our balance. You can hold on to the chair, so left hand's resting on the chair. Well, it doesn't matter too much. If you know me, I never know much about lefts and rights anyway. So you focus your gaze. I'm just going to lift up the right heel. So you can feel the weight go down into the left foot, but try not to push or to sink too much. Can you lift the left heel up and down a few times? So just going to work with balance. The balance is so important as we get older to keep a strong connection to the floor, because falls can be quite debilitating and can change our whole life. So being able to balance and stay upright and rebalance ourselves is really important for our health. And then as we bring up the right knee, you can keep your hand resting on that chair, or you can experiment with yourself. Can you take the arms wide? And you can wobble. It's fine to wobble because you're trying to find the centre of gravity. Can you move your knee? You can have your hand, you can bring your hand back onto the chair, it's fine. Can you take the knee out to the side? Can you bring it forward? All those kind of things. And can you experiment, can you maybe do that without your hand resting on the chair? But you can always put the hand down if you want to. And then can you turn the gaze to the right? Can you do that without the hand resting on the chair? Can you bring the gaze forward? Can you take the gaze to the left? Can you do that without the hand resting on the chair? Or touch the chair. And just doing that a few times. And then can you take the gaze up? And you can wobble, honestly, wobble. And then can you take the gaze down? You can have the hand resting on the chair. So really working at finding your balance. And then just like a few times, up and down or side to side. And then just see, is it possible? And if you come out of it, obviously you just take your time and you go back in. And then just see, is it possible for you to touch your standing foot? And you can have one hand resting on the chair, or just see where you are with your balance. That's it, well done. And then you come out. So then we'll do the same on the other side. So you can swap the chair over, or it doesn't matter too much. Now the right hand can be in contact with the chair. And we can lift up the left heel. So feel the weight first of all sink or rest down into the right foot. And then can you not be so pushy into that right foot? Can you lift the right heel a few times? We don't have to push. We don't have to push. And then as the right heel finds its place on the floor, you've got the inside edge of the foot, the outside edge of the foot. Come on to the very tips of the left toes and lift the left knee, if possible. Or you can keep the toes on the floor. Just kind of see where how your body feels right now. And the right hand can still be resting on the chair as you lift the left knee. And can we circle the knee, move the knee from side to side or up and down? Just kind of see where you are. Can you do that without holding the chair? And if you can't, then you just think, that's okay, you touch the chair. So all we're trying to do is come into contact with the central gravity. And then if possible, you come to centre and take the arms off the chair. If it's okay, can you turn the gaze to the left? Can you turn the gaze to to the right. If you need to touch the chair, then you hold the chair. And then if you know you're wobbling, it's fine, it's good, because we're refinding our centre of gravity, and our body is soft, we're not tightening up. Tight muscles, if we have a fall or if we kind of have a tumble, if we're really tense, we're more likely to hurt ourselves. So learning to relax when we're balancing is really important. And then can you take the gaze up? Can you take your gaze down? If you need to hold on to the chair, you hold on to the chair. So you accept whatever your body needs. You find what your body needs. And then lastly, is it a possibility that you can touch the foot that's on the floor? And coming up when you're ready. And when your feet come onto the floor now, really feeling that balance between both feet. Equal balance, is there equal balance between both feet? And we're going to turn, so we're going to turn towards the chair. So we're going to use the chair. So let's take, you come a little bit further away from the chair. Take the right foot forward and just bend that right knee towards the chair, and both hands can rest on the back of the chair. Lift the back heel up and down a few times. Then as the back heel goes down, send the front knee forward a little bit more, where your spine is coming up away from. And then we're just going to take that left arm up. We're not taking the ribs with us. And then we're just going to sweep the left arm behind us, but the left hip stays just as it is. And the gaze can come to look behind us, or you can take the gaze forward and take the right arm up. And then lower the arm, take the left arm up and come back to where you started. And then step back. Then take the left foot forward, left foot goes forward, the left knee moves forward, lift the back heel up and down a few times. As the back heel goes down, the left knee can move forward towards that chair. But really feel as though the back heel can go down. The right arm will lift, but you're not taking the ribs with you. The weight of the arm rests down into the shoulder. And just sweep that right arm, if possible, behind you, but allow the right hip to still face towards the chair. I mean, it will change a little bit. Just kind of see where you are, and the gaze can come to look behind. If possible, you can take that left arm up, and the gaze can come to look forward. And then lower the left arm, take the right one up, and come back to where you started. Just kind of working at how you feel with your balance. And then you can repeat that again, so you can pause the tape or rewind and go back again. I keep saying tape, shows my age, the recording. Right, so we turn the chair, so now we've got the lower part, the seat towards us. And we're just going to bring the hands onto the chair. Obviously, if that's too much, then you can use the back of the chair and you can just be kind of like that. Or you can be against the wall, if you've got a wall. So, you know, kind of knowing where you are. So the hands are resting on there. And just take the feet a little bit further away. So it's kind of like we're in a bit of a down dog thing if your hands were going to be on the floor. And then between the shoulder blades, just have that sense of coming up away from the floor. So a bit of rounding perhaps through the spine, and then let go. Widen, widen, widen between the shoulder blades. Widen the space between the elbows. And then just do some things with our feet again. We can turn the toes in. Soft, soft knees, soft, soft knees. We can turn the toes out, so just kind of working through the hips. So you can soft, soft knees, bring the feet forward, turn both feet to the right, but the arms are still facing forward. Maybe turn your head to the left. Notice where you feel that in your body. Come back, gaze is down, bring the feet forward, turn the feet to the left, toes to the left, perhaps I should say toes to the left, turn the head to the right. Notice how you feel that in your body. And then just come back to centre. Do that one more time. Turn both feet to the right, if possible. Turn the gaze to the left. Turn to look, see if you can turn the gaze to look beyond the left shoulder. Quite a good little side stretch really, where you open the hips. And then come back to centre. Turn both toes to the left. Turn the gaze to the right. And come back to centre. Soften the knees. Allow the top of your head to hang now. Soft knees. Just experiment with yourself. Can you bring your fingertips or your hands onto your knees? Wide elbows, wide shoulders. Just experiment. Can you bring the hands towards your ankles? You go into a deeper forward bend. Or you keep your hands on the chair. You can always bring your hands back towards the chair. Really allow the neck to hang, as though the crown of the head wants to reach towards the toes. And then just bringing your hands back onto the chair. So it's my dog. And then just coming back up, coming up to stand when you're ready. And then we're just going to go into a deeper kind of triangle position. So when you're ready, send the right foot forward. The feet, so both feet are facing forward. And we're just going to bring the hands to rest on the chair. Now, if that's too much of a deep forward bend, just bring the hands, or bring the chair so your hands are a bit higher. Just kind of see where's good for you. So both hands are resting on the chair and the right leg is forward. Right leg is forward. Now we're going to take the left arm up, left arm goes up, and we're going to take the left arm, sweep it round behind us, and the gaze can turn to look behind us. If that's really uncomfortable, you can just let that hand come to rest behind you. Now your hand is resting on the back of the chair, or you can see the hand can rest onto the knee. And you turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. And then just bring the hands back onto the chair, come forward and step back. Or step forward, I should say, or back. Then the left leg goes forward. Right, so your hands are resting on the chair. If you want to try a little bit deeper, hands are resting on the chair. So lift the back heel, lift the front heel, those kind of things. And then we're just going to see if we can lift the left arm up and sweep it round behind us. And just turn to look up, or bring the arm up. Just kind of see, or bring the arm behind. So you're honestly not trying to make a shape or trying to do any particular position with these when we use the chair. All we're trying to do, all we're looking to do, is mobilise our body. So it's a whole different feeling. How does it feel when you take the arm up or take the arm behind you? So you're not trying to make any kind of shape. You're not sacrificing the instinct of your body for a glory of the pose. I think that's a quote actually, it's a Van der Scaravelli quote. So you really are working with what your body allows you to be, to have, to do. So the right foot goes forward, and the hands can rest on the seat of the chair. Where he is, he's the one that keeps barking. Right, so this time, perhaps just take that left hand to come to rest behind. So relax your shoulders as much as possible. So your hand might be resting on the seat of the chair. So you know where the left hip is, you know where that right knee is. Left hip, right knee, top of the head. So maybe there's like a triangle there. So if possible now, you can take that left arm up. Take the left arm up. You can turn the gaze to look up. So maybe now you're perhaps more in that trikonasana, more that position that we're used to. And then just see, if that right hand not pushing into the chair, can the right hand come to rest on the right knee? And then just see, just come out, back down when you're ready. And then the left foot goes forward. I'll turn the chair so my back isn't to you. The left foot goes forward. And you can start off with the hands resting on the chair. If it's too low, again, you make your call. If you'd rather have your hands resting on the back of the chair. And just kind of see, you can soften the knees. Just how do your knees feel right now? And then if it's okay, we can let that right arm comes out to the side maybe at first. You might want to take it behind you, just kind of see how it goes. Or it might be okay to go up. So just kind of see where you are. So your spine doesn't have to go forward or do any more. Then if this feels really easy for you, or you want to do a bit more, the left hand might go onto that left knee. The gaze can come up or the gaze can come down. So you're not trying to make a shape. We're just trying to mobilise, free up the spine, free up our body. And then you can repeat that again if you like, so you can pause the recording, or we can come to stand, so you can have the left hand resting on the back of the chair, so you've got that sense of connection there. And we're just going to take the right shoulder, let the right shoulder sink towards the outside of the right ankle. And then push down into the left foot. And then come back up. And then if you're anything like me, you know that my left hip went out towards that chair. So let's go again without pushing the hip into the chair. So the left hand can rest on the chair. The outside of the right shoulder sinks towards the outside of the right hip. But we're not pushing the left hip out. Can you feel the weight go down into the left foot without pushing the left hip out? So now that left hand that's resting on that chair might just be allowed to lift. And then come out. So we're just trying to, just see how our body is working. It's just the same on the other side. So we're not pushing the right hip towards that chair. So chairs or, props, they're a really good thing at kind of giving us a sense of where our body, what happens to our body in space. So the right hand rests on the back of the chair, and we're just going to imagine the left shoulder sinks towards the left ankle. And at first let your right hip push towards the chair. Push down into that right foot and then come back up. So kind of know how that feels. So now we're going to try to change that. So the outside of the left shoulder sinks towards the left ankle, but we're not pushing the right hip outwards. The right hip stays just as it is. So we're trying to purify the side bend. And if possible, we can take that right arm up. Can you turn to look up towards the ceiling? So the arm that's above to the arm that's below, the shoulders between. Down into the outside edge of the right foot. And then come back up when you're ready. Right, well done. And then when you come to stand, really feeling the echoes of those movements in your body. The symmetry now, perhaps, or the balance of your body. And then let's just do one more thing. It's quite like this one at the moment. So we can use the chair. If you're okay to have your hand resting on the seat of the chair, or if you'd rather be on the back of the chair, it's your call, just kind of doing what feels right for you. And when you're here, just lift up one heel at a time. Relax your shoulders and all those kind of things. And then you're just going to, with the feet planted, rested, grounded on the floor, we're just going to bend the right knee. Now when you bend the right knee, you're going to feel the right hip drop. Now relax your shoulders, and just see if you can take the left arm out to the side and up. Try not to push too much into that hand that's on the chair. And then lower. And then bend the left knee. So now that left hip will lower to give you space through the spine to turn, to let the right arm lift. And then maybe just experiment with that a few times. So you can bend the right knee, the right hip will drop, to allow that turn to take place deep inside the spine, to allow the left arm to come up. So even though you might feel that you're doing less because you're using a chair, your spine will probably get far more movement because you're not straining to reach the floor. And ultimately we're just trying or working, practicing to find movement in the spine. And then when you come back just to neutral, just allow the top of your head to hang. Just see if your elbows might come onto the chair. Lift up or soften the knees, soft knees, allow the top of the head to hang. And then just see, is it possible now, again, can you bring the hands towards the knees? Can you bring the hands towards the ankles? Just kind of see where you are. You're not trying to necessarily ever get your hands onto the floor. We're working, allowing our head to come a little bit closer. And then just imagine you could lift the heels to allow the spine to lengthen and really let go of your head. And then when you come to stand, Soft knees, plant that movement down through the feet, rounding through the spine, and really being aware that your head is the last part of you that lifts. So you stack the vertebrae. I nearly said one at a time, but you know, you just start to stand. And then when you come upright, you just feel how it is to be with the soles of your feet resting on the floor, shoulders either side, head or neck resting. And then just for the last few moments, you can come to sit back on the chair. If you'd rather, you can rest on the floor, but I'll go back and sit on the chair. And sit back on the chair. Make sure again your feet firmly resting on the floor, planted on the floor. And just roll the shoulders a few times. Roll your shoulders a few times. And then just when you're ready, just close your eyes. Come to a place where you can just allow your body to rest. And you have that sense of your sitting bones or buttocks, bottom, resting on the chair. Your feet resting on the floor. Your hands resting on your lap. And just as you started the class or session, just coming back into that awareness of yourself. Your breath now as it enters your body. Your breath now as it leaves. And just knowing that you're not trying to do anything, you're not trying to change anything. How you feel right now is just how you feel. How you are right now is just how you are. If you're feeling bored, impatient, that's what you're feeling. Can we not judge that feeling? If we're feeling anxious or a little bit overwrought, can we not judge that? Can we just be with it? How does it feel? Just to think it's okay to be like that. If we're feeling quite calm, quite content, quite rested, really noticing how it feels to be like that. Because those other emotions, stronger, more intense emotions, often land and are held in our body a lot more easily than quietness or contentment. So if you're feeling quite content, at ease, comfortable, notice and name it to yourself how you feel right now. And your breath continues to come in and just stays with its continual path. In breath, out breath. And all we are trying to do is train ourselves to rest in awareness of what is. As we breathe, as we sit, as we are. And staying here for as long as it feels right for you to be. Thank you for joining me.